Good morning. It's time for Comics and Coffee with Cliff. My special guest today is Pete from Rennavison, and we'll be back in 7 seconds. I just feel the need to set the tone. First thing, I need people to know that this is not your typical Saturday morning that they're walking into.
I got you. Nothing wrong with that.
So, Pete, I hate to do this, but as per protocol, for those who don't know you, tell them a little bit about yourself and the Rennavison channel.
Yeah, well, my name is Pete. I have a channel called Rennavison. Actually, I have two channels because I have a Toy Informer channel too that I started to talk about toy stuff. But Rennavison is where I started doing comics and pop culture type stuff. Mostly, I do write the CBSI Hot 10 list, so I do have a show regarding that. I've been doing dollar bin digging over on CBSI for about 5 years now and have a show related to that. Then a bunch of my buddies also have some live shows going on throughout the week. We got a Star Wars show. We got some shows on Saturday nights and Friday nights. We have a lot of fun over there. And then I added that toy channel the past year because for some reason the comic people don't like toys. So I had to do a separate whole thing so I can
It's not that the comic people don't like toys. It's that we can't afford more than one hobby.
That is also true. That is also true.
Do you notice the tiny percentage of people who buy comics and statues and toys? Okay, all those people must make six figures, or they really know how to bring in extra cash on their only channels.
Well, I feel like once you mention statues, like that's it. Oh, whoa, you statues. Like I'm in the $25 toy statue. Like that's what I can afford. Not these $100 figures that you can put around the house. I don't have room to put them up if I had them.
Even the $100 figure is like, okay, you can get one on an occasion.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about these $500 figures, $1,000 figures, that X-Men ensemble that costs like $3,000 to put together. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't roll that way. I can't do it.
All right, let's say hello to the chat. Good morning, Nerdy Geek. Appreciate you being here. I hope you're feeling better. Christina Payne, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. John's Comics for Kids. Love you, John. Thank you for being here. Love you too, Tony. I'm glad you're here. And yes, Tony, you're back from your little vacation. You're going live tonight at 6 p.m. Great to hear it. I will try to join you. Sticks Boy is here. Looking at him, being all supportive. And Bruce is here from Kingdom of Nerds, also being supportive. What great guys. JSS Brooklyn, appreciate you being here as always. Double O. Oh, you beautiful person. You beautiful person. Yes, you're double supporting because, unlike some people, I know that you're actually watching. Thomas O'Donnell, good morning. And look at that. A little good morning to Rennavison.
I feel like a construction worker with a thermos.
Nate, mwah. Buy comics and toys. I'm broke as hell. Statues, no way. See, there we go. There's the truth right there. Right there. Yeah. So, do I like toys and statues? Sure. Do I own some? Sure. Is that like what I'm going to talk to you about? No. Because I'm spending my money on comics. The other night, somebody was asking me the criteria for collecting comics, and I said, criteria number one, is it a comic book?
Well, there is always that.
Which brings me to my first question for you, which is, what is your criteria for comic book shopping?
For comic book shopping? Like just in general?
For yourself.
For myself, well, hell, I've been doing this so long, just getting comics since the 90s when I was a kid. Like, there's certain things. It doesn't matter how good or bad the interiors or the art is. There's certain titles I'm just getting. It doesn't matter. It's a blind buy no matter what. Then there's the things I want to read and cover buy. Like I buy a lot.
So blind buying, would that include things like House of Mystery or X-Men #1 by Jim Lee or...
X-Men #1 by Jim Lee is near the start of when I started collecting, like in earnest. Like before then, my dad had books and I read some of them. He was reading like Batman, but he was more in the war book type of stuff. But around like when Jim Lee came around, between that and Silver Surfer in those early 90s, like 1990, maybe even like 89, is really when I started getting into collecting. Just like the art. The art just caught me, and I tried to trace Jim Lee's art so I could draw just like him when I was a kid. I know plenty of us did. And yeah, that's how it got me into this.
I used to trace his art because I can't draw at all. I drew one time in an art class, I properly drew a finger and I was so excited. I was so excited, you know?
Yeah,
And not the
I
same finger,
lost it.
a finger pressing down, and I was thrilled. I was like, oh my goodness, I did it.
I got all right for a little while there. Eventually, the Jim Lee style morphed into more of like a Joe Mad, more of an anime kind of vibe that was a little more, that was easier for me to pull off,
Good.
be a little more exaggerated. So I was all right for a bit. Today, I've lost it. I can only do like Adam Hughes profiles, like what he does on Remarks now. He's just doing profiles. That's all I can really do. Is like I can
See,
do.
practice makes perfect, man. Practice makes perfect. Thomas O'Donnell says, I collected bombshell statues and DC props like the lantern, Superman's cape, utility belt, lassos, bracelets. Yeah, and some of the things you've named here are not outrageous. You know, they're in a feasible arena, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure I remember the bombshell statues being like 40 to 80 bucks, depending on, you know, if you had to go to battle for some of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Trev, the shipping guru, good morning. Oh, Tom keeps going. Eagle Moss, DC Direct, Superpowers, JLU. Woo, boy, you were racking it up. Racking it up.
I don't have a place to put them all. Even if I had those, like I don't have an area to display.
Yeah, as it is, I'm dealing with enough room for the comics, and it's just brutal. Brutal.
Yeah,
good
room
morning,
for the comics.
Scotty. Love you, friend. Love you.
In my seat, I could probably touch at least 24 short boxes without getting out of my chair. Like I can just do it. You can't see what's around me.
Oh, I'm
not.
I'm not that bad. I can touch 1, 2, 3, 4 short boxes here, and I can touch 12 slabs over here. But there are clearly 9 short boxes here, and I can't count what's over there. So there we go. Oh, JSS Brooklyn, I love you, man. Feasible super chat. I appreciate you. You deserve a special thank you. Maybe we'll do a double thank you.
Nice.
Double thank yous for the man. Double thank yous. I appreciate him. Thomas, I still have them boxed up, over 95,000 comics and over 1,200 hardback books. Ooh! I do know I have an excess. How many comics does a long box hold?
Bagged and boarded, or are you talking loose?
Bagged and board.
Anywhere between 200 and 300, depending on
So let's say 200. So I have 3,800 comics in long boxes. And then how much are in a short box?
Short box, you could probably squeeze 150 if you want to pack them in tight. But
let's say 130.
1 to 150.
Let's call it 130. And I have 5,200 comics in short boxes.
I don't want to do math.
The math is easy because you use a calculator.
There you go.
All right. Oh, look at Kingdom of Nerds trying to spice up our conversation. What made Pete get into YouTube?
That's easy.
And what was it? Passion. Oh, you're a pandemic baby.
Yeah, I mean, I did some stuff before then, like CBSI. Like we had some other guys who were doing some stuff. Like we have Wood on Simple. Well, I don't think Simple Man's doing stuff anymore, but Simple Man's Comics was doing some things related to the site, because I used to write for. Well, I still do write for comicbookatbest.com, but that's what got me into it. And then we started doing extra shows and a little bit of content for like Brian's channel, and then another channel that I was on, Flipside, for a while. And then eventually decided I'm just going to start doing my own little thing on the side. And then the pandemic hit, and I needed to connect with people to talk about comics because my wife didn't want to talk comics with me. So here I am.
In the meantime, the pandemic hit, and all it did was to make me throw myself further into Dungeons and Dragons, which was great for Hasbro. Great for them. John says, I just opened my ZLZ app and tells me what I have. Yeah, John, that's for people who keep their CLZ app updated. I am clearly way too far behind. Like, what does my CLZ say right now? I'll open that up in a second and say good morning to Eddie. See, Trevor's saying 120 to a short box.
The fact that you tried to log your collection in CLZ is impressive to me. I
Well, I
No way.
decided I'm going to start with the slabs because that's easiest,
Mm-hmm.
right? And right now I have logged 28 slabs,
Okay.
you know, and currently my highest value slab is my Justice League of America 74,
74.
which the value it's presuming it is based on a 9.2, not on the 7.5 Savannah Collection pedigree one that I have. But I do feel like I get bonus points for it being part of the Savannah Collection.
You do, absolutely.
Yeah, look, I'm free. League of Comic Geeks is free. Yeah, League of Comic Geeks can, like, you know, makes things happen, baby. Makes things happen. It's fun. There are some books that are like wildly underpriced, you know, like I have a 9.8 signature series of Sub Kal-El number 1 in 1500 foil, right? But like CLC is like, oh yeah, and a 9.8 you can get $40, and I'm like, you SOBs, how dare you? I want to review the marketing sales immediately.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think for any app or site that's trying to do that, it's not easy. It's not easy coming up with prices because it's not always apples to apples. Because, like you said, signature series, it's hard to even quantify what a signature might be worth, let alone whose signature, because that's not always equal either. So
it is. That is true. And our dear friend Brucifer gifted 10 memberships. Now I got to get there so I can shout out the memberships. And then obviously, since he did 10 memberships, I'm going to have to give him the full thank you specialty.
He deserves it anyway.
He does, but I feel like he's earned the complete packaging. All right, let's see here. 10 memberships. And all right. Canadian Survivalist, congratulations. Tate Prime, Hazu, Aggressively Relaxing, Black Spiders, Garfwong, Las Cruces 1971. Woo! All right. Trev the Shipping Guru also gifted a membership. Circumstances, Marcus, congratulations. You've gifted a membership. Fabulous. And yep. Okay, good. I covered everybody. And now let's give them the full barrage of thank yous. Oh, damn. Hold on. All right. I hope that satiated Bruce.
That'll wake you up in the morning, boy.
Oh my goodness. Kingdom of Nerds, how did I get a membership? Apparently you did. It gave you a free month. Very nice. Oh my God. Do you lift? Wouldn't be my first reach around. Hey, like I warned you at the beginning of the show, you need more hairy guy. Oh, that's not really my thing, but you know, I will keep that in mind. You know, baby oil not included. No, you have to see Diddy for that.
I don't think I want to.
I'm glad my honey wasn't watching. Oh, Eddie. Oh, what would she have thought? She would have been like, what is happening here? You know, obviously you're not watching for that. Eddie's a very handsome retired gentleman, you know. Dead Man, thank you for tuning in from across the pond.
Nice.
And Dan, good morning. So hopefully I haven't traumatized anyone yet, which is great. I appreciate you all. Okay. So, oh, that's so funny. So I gravitate towards like, so the book that made me start collecting was actually John Byrne's Man of Steel.
Okay.
So that's what I keep gravitating towards. Like, if I can't find anything else, but I find that, I'm like, well, I should just grab these, right?
Interesting. You know? So does that make you more of a DC guy then, considering? You know,
oh yeah. Last night Yeah, last night we were playing. I mean, I love Marvel too, but last night we were playing a game. You can only save one in today's market, and I'm like, yeah, I'm saving DC. I'm gonna rescue the hell out of them. And the thing is it's like a 5-to-1 ratio on my DC to Marvel enjoyment right now. You know, like I love Wonder Woman and I love Absolute Wonder Woman and I am enjoying Absolute Superman and I'm enjoying Superman and I'm enjoying Justice League and there's good writing and the stories are involved and I'm not afraid of reading all the words on the page. And Marvel just seems to be phoning it in on a lot of books. And the only books I'm enjoying over at Marvel is Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, which, and again, Ultimate Black Panther is sadly at the bottom of that list, but I'm still enjoying it. And then like Amazing Spider-Man is like, let's face it, like it's just not prestige, but it's fun because I like this whole many deaths thing, you know. But
the death thing's got me back, and I was enjoying it a bit more than like Gang War and all that other stuff. I just was so.
But I'm not coming back for this. Like that new #1 will come out, and I'll probably snatch that new #1, but I'm not coming back. You know.
Well, I have to, but I am not another #1. I can't. It's so damn confusing to collect.
Yeah. Oh, Bunkmaster. Hey, Bunk, thanks for being here. Reading all the words on the page. What is this, a novel? Why even have pictures at that point? Because it's a visual medium, Bunk, a visual medium.
Yeah, one of my favorite books right now, I think, is DC 2. And it wasn't in your list. Are you reading Batgirl? Because I'm really liking Batgirl right now.
I'm not reading Batgirl because choices have to be made.
I hear you. And I've never been a Batgirl fan.
Finite,
I've never been a Batgirl fan, but this run, I just tried it out for reviews one week. Like the first issue, we just did it for reviews on a blind, and I said, hey, this ain't bad. I'm gonna stick with it and give it a try.
Yeah, you gotta love Cassandra Cain. I have lots of love for her. And you know, now that we're talking about it, we might as well get into our book of the week. Which I gotta carefully select my book of the week from the floor, from the short box.
One second. I realized I forgot to flip the switch here. Oh. I was like, I wonder why my laptop's not charging. I'm like, it's plugged in. I was like, oh, I forgot to turn the switch on.
So I'm going to give my book of the week, shockingly, to Secret Six #1.
Really?
Because I'm enjoying it. I love the Brad Walker cover, especially because Brad Walker previously worked on Secret Six. So I felt it was only appropriate that he should be here. But this is a new writing gig for Nicole Maines, and she's delivering consistently, and I'm very proud of her. You know, I like that she knows how to voice her characters, and I like that she seems to understand and or take guidance, because I know there's shared writing credits, but she knows how to. She either knows on her own how to do it, or she takes guidance on how to do it on managing other characters very well. Because I thought she did that really well on Dream Team, and I feel like she started off pretty good over here. Which makes it your turn.
My turn. Well, I thought about Batgirl for the pick for this week, but the other book that I really am enjoying, and the series I'm enjoying, is over at Ghost Machine, is Hyde Street. Hyde Street 4. It started off like slow at first, like the first page or two. I'm like, did I forget where I left off? Yeah. What's going on? But eventually, once I settled in and realized we were getting introduced to like another one of the main residents of this Hyde Street, that I was fully on board, because this
is the monster, right?
Yes, exactly. Right, I forgot that was even one of the options, like going into it. And it's like, oh, that's only issue 4. I feel like it's been around. I feel like it's been running longer than 4 issues. So I guess that's why I was more surprised, like, what's going on here? But thoroughly enjoyed reading it this week.
Yeah, no, I also enjoyed it. I think, with the exception of Hornsby and Halo, I'm really enjoying everything they're doing over there. Yeah. So good on you, Jeff Johns. You've earned another month of reprieve from me, where I'm not just out there going. listen, he can still write. God bless him, because some of these people, they start hitting this period in their life where it's just not quite the same.
No, I hear you. I hear you. That was my guy back in the day. Like that Green Lantern run, Blackest Night. Like that was the point of, I enjoyed that run so much. I had Green Lantern cufflinks on at my wedding because of that run that Jeff Johns did.
That's great. Hey, good morning, Garflon. Good morning, Big Lion Cat. Old Wolf Tony, good morning. How you doing? Going to make breakfast. 19 Shohiba 75. Oh, Big Lion Cat, you joined. You know what? I'll give you something. I will give you something nice and mellow for you. Nice and mellow, my friend. Let's get you a thank you. I just realized I have to make a video for new members. So like all of mine are like thank you stuff. Like I got to do something for a new member. That's what I need.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to do new stuff. At least I find doing that stuff is always fun.
Oh yeah, no, I do have fun. I do have fun. Let's see, Dan is collecting subscribers. Excellent. I am subscribed, Dan, and I have the bell on. You're welcome. I'm keeping an eye on him. I actually watched his new Comic Wednesday video like a day or two ago, and I really enjoy a lot of new Comic Book Day videos because I like to see what other people are reading and why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that that's an interesting part of our community dynamic. And obviously, I'm not going to agree with everything, and I have strong opinions on what I think is garbage. But at the exact same time, I hope people understand that I am playing and you read what you want because we are the ones carrying this freaking industry on our backs.
No, and I totally get what you're saying because even I do a show for Wednesdays and I got to cover books that I'm not even reading and I may not enjoy, but I don't want to judge. I want to put it out there for everybody. Like, this is a book coming out this week. I'm not getting it, but maybe you want it.
Oh my goodness, Bruce. We've got a super chat question for you from Bruce. Let's thank Bruce first. Sorry, Bruce, it's another twink. But Bruce asks, Pete, how do you select the books for the CBSI Top 10? What's
selling? I mean, apart from having some helpful friends like Bruce who may throw ideas my way, say, hey, did you see this was selling? That's kind of the idea. I'm just looking to see what's moving and then double checking, numbers behind it. Because it's one thing you see, well, this book sold for a lot, but just because one sold, to me, it isn't enough always to make the list. Like, say a 1 in 50 variant sells for like $150. Like, wow, that's a huge sale. But one sold. Like, there's only one. I can't put that on the list. There's only one sale. Like, so it's kind of it's a game to kind of play, trying to figure out, especially slotting.
How much?
And then figuring out old stuff too. It's fun to do, but it's work.
It sounds time consuming. Because I want to know, how do you like how many methods of tracking are there? Because I feel like it's easy to collect eBay data, right?
Yeah. Or I lean most heavily on eBay because it's the easiest to collect. I can't speculate on whatnot, and Go Collect, if we're talking slabs, Go Collect will help with pulling in some heritage and Comics Link and some other of those types of sales for slabs. But I'm trying to avoid leaning too heavily on pricing on slabs because the whole market doesn't collect slabs. Like, I'm trying to be more broad for everyone, so try to stick more to the wall.
I think a big chunk of the market goes for slabs, but some people like, I don't know, in my mind, right? For me, my slabs are like little trophies, know, and my comics are my collection. And then this is just like the extension of my collection, being like, look, I have them slabbed. It's like, here's my 20 Legion reprints over here that I have in hardcover, but like, look at this beautiful slab with the first shrinking violets.
Well, and that's why slabs do have to factor in, like if old books start making the list, like even last night's list, Like books like, Daredevil 131, First Bullseye, or First Punisher, you got to include slabs. I can't exclude them because a lot of the market is buying the slabs for the classics because they want that trophy. Like you said, they want the trophy that they can afford, like the highest grade they can get.
I only 2 slabs if I get a deal. And there's a lot of good deals. Sometimes you will very much find a slab that is about the same price as the raw. So why shouldn't I get it all airtight and compact,
True.
So, I mean, that's just the way I feel. I love how my first question was about collecting. Like we keep circling back to it.
Well, I'm a collector first.
Right, exactly. And that's really why I enjoy having you here, is because, I feel like there is the mind of the collector, the mind of the reseller, the mind of someone who lives in both worlds, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not all entirely different. I think the mind of somebody who lives in both worlds is empathetic to both sides. I think that's what's uniquely nice about them.
Yeah. And then also crossover, like you said, it's all kind of coming from the same place. It's just more when you get that distinction of when you got to draw that line. What are you going to do? Like if you walk into a shop on Wednesday, say you can only pick up 2 books. What are you going to grab? Are you going to grab that book that you hear everybody's buying and its first appearance because you want to go and flip it? Or do you got to go get the book you want to read for this week? Or do you got to go get that book that, well, you just got to keep getting your Uncanny X-Men run going because you don't want to have that hole in your collection. So,
I know some
people go buy
refuse. They refuse to give up on Flash because they have a solid Flash run from like 1970 till now, and they don't want to break their streak. And I'm like, oh no! In the meantime, I've given up on that.
I tried Cy Spurrier's run last week, and I was just so lost. I was like, what's going on? I knew like Warlord was involved because I'd seen him pop, but it was just, I didn't know what was going on. I was still lost.
Yeah, it is just, it is rough. Eddie never thought of it as a trophy, but like it is, because like I'm not reading these, but but they're all a unique piece of comic book history, And it's funny. Someone dared to quote Reggie Collects to me at the comic book store yesterday. And I was like, number one, he has abandoned this community, so I no longer care. I'm like, number two.
Didn't he come back?
What? With what? Where is he?
I don't know. I just heard he came back.
I saw his gun video. I'm like, I'm not here for Reggie Collects Guns, Yeah. So, good Lord. But anyhow, it was about how people make things up to collect because they can't have the first appearances. And I find it outrageous because it's like, okay, maybe we're pushing it when we're like, hey, what's the 4th appearance of Punisher, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we're going a bit too far when it's like, this is the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. It's like, come on, the Gems have been together before. Look at John. Like, what's the quote? I'm like, I don't know the direct quote. I'm just saying it's just funny that he was quoting him to me. But yeah, he was basically saying that like we make stuff up to collect. And I was like, if you look at it that way, that is literally the entire hobby industry. So, what are you going to do about that? So in reality,
we do got to draw a line because the the weird things we decide become important at some point can get kind of silly.
Exactly. So
especially when you mentioned the appearance thing, and then what happens if you have to renumber it? Like, oh wait, we forgot he showed up like Punisher. He showed up in the back of page of 134 before 135, so we can't call 135 the second Punisher. Technically, that would be the third then if that happened here.
So that's a cameo. That's got to count as a cameo.
Yeah, well, cameo, does that count as an appearance? As a full, like which one are we counting?
Well,
I hate the semantics.
Hey, you want to get into semantics? Think about the Scourge, right? Like the Scourge killed several people along the way. So do each of the murder victims count as a pre-appearance, right? And then when he actually first encounters somebody, which I think the first face-to-face encounter is Spider-Man, right?
Think so.
Yeah, I think so. And then so we know that this dude called the Scourge exists. And then After all of this buildup and this many years of this crap, how do they finish it? They finish it in a John Walker U.S. Agent miniseries. Are you freaking kidding me? You know, the Scourge killed so many freaking supervillains, and we're gonna wrap it up in a U.S. Agent miniseries. Go check your dollar bins, folks, if you want that.
Oh boy. Yeah, some of the characters they have slow played. I just did Romulus on Dollar Bin Digging, and I didn't realize how long they stretched that appearance out before we actually saw the goddamn guy. It was ridiculous. Shadow, flashback Shadow, mention of his name, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Rican Comics and Collectibles is hiding somewhere in the chat, so welcome, Rod. Look at him. I just collect DCU logo variants. You can't afford anything else. That's why the hunt is real. Nope, let's not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting drama in comics with me, fellas. That's not what I like or what I'm here to do.
This is comics and coffee, folks.
Yeah,
my goodness.
I'm a grown man. This ain't high school, man.
And if anyone's gonna throw shade, it's gotta be me, and it's gonna be a John Romita Jr.
Oh,
Actual Dracula, Adrian. Good morning. Love to see you here.
JR.
It's gotta.
He's not alone though. There's a handful. I just can't.
Listen, I will give it to him that he is a great storyteller. He knows how to move his story through the page.
Absolutely.
It's just so ugly, and like I can't. And like Frank Miller definitely had days where he could do it better.
Oh yeah.
So like
sometimes it's just eventually it's time to just hang up the Spurs.
You know, hold on a second.
As I said.
All right.
Grown-ups.
By the way, my moderators who are out here, if you can feel free to take action. I just had to stop and take action myself. Because that's not what my show is about, and we're not doing that here.
Exactly.
So anyhow, Big Lion Cat is just enjoying people's channels and having a great time. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Dan agrees with you. Batgirl Run is really amazing. It is good. It's just like, you know, I gotta choose. I gotta choose my
It's still early though. You can catch up. We're only at 5, I think. Get the first trade. When it comes out, just check it out and trade.
Oh, goodness. Anyhow, I think it's time for my next favorite part of the program.
Okay, what's that?
It's called Let Me Find My Media. No, it's called Rate It or Hate It. This week's Rate It or Hate It is brought to us by the Cover Price Top 10 1-year retrospective. What were people looking to buy, or what was hot or being bought way back in the year 2024 in March? Let's have a good look at that. And we're going to start with number 10, a favorite of many.
Oh, the old days of 2024.
Yep. X-Men 221. Rate it or hate it. And if you hate it, we're going to pass it. But if you rate it, it's a 5 scale system, right? 1 is this is for somebody, right? With 5 being it's a must-have for any collector.
Okay.
Man, Trev coming in hot. 5.
I'm biased though.
5. Damn, the 5s.
Yeah, I want to say 5, but I also got to understand not everybody, because one of my buddies, Dub, is not an X-Men fan, and I'm an X-Men guy, so that's why I would say 5 for Sinister. But got to factor in not everybody's an X-Men guy, so I would say 4.
No, see, that's not fair. It's a 5 because no, you can. I listen. I agree with your rationale, but for me, a 5 is like, this is just a key piece of comic book collecting goodness.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, like I don't have to appreciate X-Men or Sinister to know the value of Sinister's first appearance. You
Fair
know,
enough.
so like that's why I lean towards 5. But look at Scotty coming in with a 4 and Dan with a 3.5 and Double Up booing X-Men. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, we're booing X-Men now. All right. Oh my heavens. All right, let's see how we fare with number 9. Number 9 is a favorite of mine. I'm not even going to be shy about it. Avengers Twilight number 1. Clearly it's perceived as a bust, but I do not care because it was one of the finest reads of 2024. And that's the most important thing. I think Pocan Joe gave the X-Men a 4. So yeah, I would give Avengers Twilight a 5 because I think it's a fabulous miniseries. So yeah, I'd give this one a 5. Why'd you say let's forget about it?
No, I'm not gonna say let's forget about it. I enjoy it. I thought it was a great read too. But outside of just me liking to read it, I'm gonna go again with the 4 for that rationale because I don't know long term if anyone's gonna value this future state of the Avengers with what they got into with Tony Stark.
For me, that's the beauty of an imaginary story. Like, is Kingdom Come technically not a 5? We know it's an alternate reality story walking into it. And yet it's a great story.
True.
Again, me trying to defend my 5s, but still, I'm
just keeping my 5s in my pocket so I don't end up rating like, Weekend at Bernie's just as high as Big Trouble in Little China, even though I love them both. They're just different movies.
Yeah. Look at this. Garfwong, love Twilight, not the other Twilight. There we go. Look at this. Kingdom Come is a 6 in Trev's book. All right, on. All right, next up, this one also needs no introduction. It's X-Men Adventures number 1. Clearly it got carried away. Also, good morning, Kevin.
Yeah, last year. This was X-Men 97 time, I guess.
MJ. So yeah, this is very X-Men 97. All right, so rate it or hate it.
For this particular book, just this X-Men Adventures 1, even though X-Men fan, loved X-Men 97, I'm putting a 3 here because of the stretch of what would make this book important is to get to your point from earlier. Like, we're talking about the first cartoon animated versions of the characters in comic book form. Like, yeah, it's a fun thing to find, but you can find this for $1. So get it for $1, but don't expect Shakespeare.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd say a 3 for this book, just because it's a fun collectible, but it's not important to me.
Man, a 2, a couple of 5s, some 4s, strong 90s vibes.
Yeah, but the X-Men of the 90s or the X would have 90s vibes. I just get the regular title at the time.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on the 3 as well, just because it is X-Men Adventures, and I guess we get Morph here. Also that, Steve did the cover, who, I really love, and I always appreciate his X-Men and Legion of Superheroes work. All right, next one. Let's see how you feel about this, because I don't even remember this book existing last year. It's Pearl number 1, the Alex Maleev variant. 1? Because somebody out there is looking for this.
It was like Option News or something, I believe, at the time. That's all that drove this.
Option News. Oh God,
that's all I believe drove this thing. It was like the whole Jinx World line or something. It's like, oh, somebody option like that. And what was the one that had comic artists as assassins? I can't remember what that title was called, but there was that one too. Out of DC at the time, part of that Jinx World thing. But yeah, 1, because I don't know if anything will ever get made of this, and even if it does, I don't know if anybody will care then.
I am generously going to give it a 1 because I love me some Alex Maleev, but I do too. I hate stuff that appears just purely out of being optioned. Yep, it did have Option News, of course. All right. Now the next one is really funny to me. I want to see how you feel about it.
Okay.
Edge of Spider-Verse number 1, the Weapon 8 cover. What are your thoughts?
I'm tired. I'm tired of all the Spider characters and different versions, and then we're getting Spider mixed with I have no idea who thought taking Cyclops and Spider-Man and making them like one idea was a good idea. But at the same time, I don't want to completely trash it because he's still around. So I'll go 2.
I think 2 is fair. I think the hype on this was over the top.
It was way over.
Pokemon Show was giving it a 1. 19, he's giving it a 10. Jesus.
Give it a 10.
Yeah, 2 is fair. He's around. I don't know if people feel as hyped, but I remember people getting this issue and be like, "Oh man, I really like the story." I'm like, "Did you?" Like,
it was okay.
Yeah,
like I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It wasn't groundbreaking, and it wasn't hot garbage, but it wasn't like
no. Thank God it wasn't hot garbage. That would be
people did overreact when this book came out. Like, oh my god, what a great new character.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because Spider-Boy took off the way that it did, that maybe people got all excited, like this could be the next one, you know?
Maybe.
In the meantime, I love me some Kid Venom and Spider-Boy, so
yeah,
there is all of that. All right, next up on the list, New X-Men number 114. Rate it or hate it.
Again, I'm an X-Men guy, and this is Grant Morrison starting his run, which completely changed the whole vibe of the title and the team to the point where that's where our movies kind of got started with the black leather look. I want to say 5. But I feel like I want to reserve my 5, but I want to say 5.
I'm going with a 4, and I see a lot of people are agreeing with me. Trev is going with a 5. Eddie just gives it a 1. I mean, there are some flaws to the story arc. I could see that, but no, I'm going with a solid 4 on this one. You know, I feel it's one of the X-Men benchmarks,
and that's why I feel like I'm biased in a little bit.
Exactly. Like I would always recommend this story, but it's not like my absolute favorite story. Like the very first X-Men story I ever read was the Dark Phoenix saga. And it's just always going to be the Dark Phoenix saga for me. Like it just like I just haven't found an X-Men story. Although House of X, Powers of X, which why do some people call it Powers of 10? I'm like, it's a freaking X. It's an X.
They're fan of Roman numerals.
I guess so. And I am too, but you know, not when it comes to my X-Men. But yeah, so like I have a lot of strong feelings about that, the beginning and the end of that era. And honestly, I would have given that era, the end of that era, a perfect 10. But but like the last month of stuff, they fumbled all over the place, and it just broke my heart.
They did.
I love Morrison's earlier work, but it wasn't his best. Probably is the best X-Men outside of Claremont. There are future debates to be had about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not an off-base comment, but yeah. Take in consideration.
Exactly. Next up, Ultimate Black Panther number 1. Rate it or hate it.
I'm mid on this title. A lot of the Ultimate books, they started off with interest, and then I fade very quickly outside of Ultimate Spider-Man, just because I feel like we just quickly get into this rut of, well, we're just going to kind of retell the story with slight tweaks, and they're just Ultimate Black Panther's all right. But it just felt like it was in a Black Panther title, so I'm just going in the middle with 3 because it's still a decent book.
I'm going to go with a 3 on this one, but at no point do I read Ultimates or Ultimate Spider-Man and think, oh, they've made some minor tweaks. At no point, because like She-Hulk, wildly different origin. The Incredible Hulk, wildly different scenario. I mean, he's got the power of the Iron Fist, and he has his gang, the immortal weapons of the Hulk. Like it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm jaded in the way that we just keep restarting universes and retelling everything.
I know, but this is like I hate that too. But this isn't a reboot of the regular universe. They made a whole new universe, and we have a villain responsible. Oh no, it's Darkseid. Yeah. Oh my God, really? DC and Marvel cannot stop copying off of each other.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, horrible.
But that's what also aids into my my exhaustion. It's like because some of the absolute stuff, I'm like, man, do I really? Absolute Wonder Woman's my favorite. Batman, hit and miss with some of the tweaks. Superman kind of in the same boat. I'm like, I'm not ready for Flash and who else we got coming? Green Lantern,
Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. And Martian Manhunter looks hideous. And I know people who are excited for it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're excited about. I really feel they should have done a year of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman before maybe introducing these new characters. But here we
that's
go.
what I think. Yeah, I agree.
And to be honest, I don't think Flash and Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter are anywhere near as exciting as Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And with that, I am not enjoying the Batman one. All right, back to the Edge of Spider-Verse. The Edge of Spider-Verse #1 surprise variant.
Surprises. That's right. Last year we had all those surprises. Those just, here you go. One per, I guess, diamond account, I think, or one per account.
Yeah, one per diamond account, yeah.
Oh, I don't think anyone's going to care much long term for one of these, so I'm going to go with a 2. I'm not going to go with a 1 because there will still be some interest and some value there, but I'll go with a 2 because
I'm going to go with a 2 because it does feel special to get a limited book, you know, and considering comic shops got 1 to 3 copies of these means that there's only about 9,000 of these in circulation, which is pretty low, right?
Yeah.
So, you know.
And that's why, like I said, I'm with you with the 2. But if there was something more important, I think, in the book would help it. But it just I don't even remember what volume of Edge of Spider-Verse is this at this point.
Oh, geez. Well, it's Edge of Spider-Verse. So it's volume 1 because it's Edge of Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's right.
You know, and now the new one is Web of Spider-Verse. So we don't have to get into new volumes if we just keep tweaking the name. Look at that. 19's got 2. All right. I think we're in agreement on this one. All right. Last but not least, this one warms my heart. It's Ultimate Spider-Man #1 from last year.
This is my favorite Ultimate title. By far, it still is my favorite Ultimate title. So I don't know if I want to put it on a classic level. So I might just go 4, just because I don't know if it'd be all-time fun. But then again, it's a fun run. I would take this Ultimate run over the last Ultimate run. Maybe I'll give you your 5. I know you want to give it a 5.
No, I'm going to say the last Ultimate run is legendary, though.
That's the one that got me tired because that was more of the we'll just update these the villains, but basically told the same stories over and over again.
I don't know. Carnage Gwen was a big surprise, and it gave us months.
Yeah, Carnage Gwen, but I don't know. I didn't love it.
I love
over time. I didn't love it, but that was the time when I was actually dipping out of comics because when Ultimate hit, I was in college, so my reading really started to slip right around that time because I started just drinking and doing other things that you do while you're in college. So comics kind of took a back seat, and they just started piling up in boxes at home. But yeah, fair enough. I just don't look back as fondly. That's all.
Yeah, I look back semi-fondly. I mean, that was 100 issues that they knocked out, and also possibly my favorite version of Omni.
More than 100, I think. Hell, Miles didn't come around till I think Spidey was up to like 150. Well, no,
the Bendis Bagley duo made it 100 issues, and that in itself is legendary.
That run,
okay. Because I don't know if anyone else has been able to hit that mark. Listen, John, with your hater raid, this is a 2 at best. All right. Just because he's not the man that you are, all right, and he made a choice that you found wildly selfish for a father and husband, doesn't mean it's not still a good read. You have to learn to move past something sometimes.
So that's where John's angle comes from. I get that.
That is his angle. He's like, this thing presents itself to you, and you don't even discuss it with your wife. It's just like, oh, yes, I hate my life. Let's do this, you know?
I don't know if it goes that far.
I don't know if it goes that far either. But, do you think if something showed up promising these superpowers, I'm going to stop and think about my mom and shit? No, I'm going to give me the goddamn powers. You know?
Yeah.
And then I'll realize how irresponsible I was, days later.
Yeah, true.
Just started my career when Ultimate Spider-Man came out. Bought it. Months later, realized most were not all white covers. Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah, I think of it more like a purchase I made on my own without discussing with my wife. That may have not been the best decision. The impulse buy of I don't say a big comic or something stupid. And then I'm like, well, you know what? I'll explain it away later. Like, we'll figure it out. So I probably would have accepted the prize and the gift of powers and say, well, again, I'll figure it out later.
I love this from John. It goes farther. He risked his entire family for a midlife crisis epic fail. Show me a man who did not risk his entire family during a midlife crisis. Show me that man. Okay? Show me that man, and we'll have this conversation. Because most married fathers I know who had the midlife crisis, let me tell you, they just went there. They just took it. They just took it all the way too far. But anyhow, I don't want to be too critical. So that, everybody, that was my beloved Rated R. Oh my goodness. Here we are.
It's fun looking back.
And that was the 1 year. I can't wait. There was a few from this year where I'm like, I can't wait to do this year. I can't wait to crap all over these in 2026.
I think that every time I put the list together and I go, this is probably not going to age well.
It is not.
It's what you guys out there are buying.
Look at this. My midlife crisis has been comics.
Welcome to the club.
Exactly. Some of us make the lesser painful choice, and some of us, take an equity loan on the house and go buy that Audi they always wanted, and it just goes downhill. My midlife crisis started at 24. It never stopped. Oh my goodness. All right. So before we started, we discussed doing a tarot card reading. So, sir, I will do a short reading for you.
Okay.
It will be
I've never done this before. I have no idea.
It's going to be a 3-card reveal. All right. Okay. And you're gonna
I'm gonna kick them out to make room for the USS Flag redo that they come out with. That's gonna be it.
So I want you to think of a question, and when you're ready, you're gonna.
I gotta think of a question.
Well, that's usually how I propose this. Like, what does the new year have? Or I could just do, what does the new year have in store for you?
That's fine. Yeah, do that. Because I have no question loaded in my head, and I'm trying to think of something good. So you just go with that.
All right. Pete from Rennavison, what is in store for your 2025? Pete's 2025.
Hoping for something good.
All right. And now for the silly part, just touch your camera lens.
Right near the top. Let's go near the top up there.
All right, here we go. Your first card is the 3 of Pentacles, represented by Green Lantern rings.
Nice. Well, did say I'm a fan of Green Lanterns.
And that represents your past.
Also true.
All right. So, the 3 of Pentacles represents teamwork, skill building, collaboration. In your past, you may have been working closely with others to develop something meaningful, whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth. This card suggests you were in a phase of learning and contributing your talents to a group effort. It also points to recognition for your skills and value of cooperation. All right.
Yeah.
Your second card is still Pentacles. Your second card is the 9 of Pentacles. You've built a strong foundation through teamwork, collaboration, and skill building. Your past involved working with others to create something meaningful. Right now, you're in a phase of self-sufficiency, stability, and enjoying the rewards of your hard work. The Nine of Pentacles represents independence, confidence, and a sense of personal achievement. You may be experiencing the benefits of your past efforts, feeling secure in your surroundings, and enjoying a well-earned moment of success. This card also highlights self-care and appreciating the finer things in life. This is a strong progression from teamwork to personal success. And now your third card. Wow.
I'm on board so far.
Your third card is the Eight of Pentacles. You started with teamwork, learning, and collaboration. Your past efforts involved working with others, mastering a skill, or laying a strong foundation for your success. This journey isn't over yet. The Eight of Pentacles suggests that even though you've achieved success, there's still more to refine and master. This card represents dedication, continuous improvement, and craftsmanship. In the future, you will likely find yourself honing your skills even further, working diligently toward long-term goals, or leveling up in your career or personal development. This reading shows a clear progression of growth in your material world, whether it be in work, finances, or personal achievement. You've gone from learning with others to enjoying your success to realizing that mastery is a lifelong journey. This suggests that while you're in a great place now, the next step is committing to even greater mastery and refinement.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. I 100% agree with what it says, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm taking it not from the personal, like the job. I'm not job. Who cares about that?
Yeah, I am shocked. Shocked that you got pentacles. Shocked. They're all pentacles. That is
teamwork. I strongly believe in it. That's if you go over to my channel, it's me, but it's not just me. I got a bunch of guys who help, and we're all in this together. I'm trying to help all of us.
Yeah, no, that is very, very impressive. I'm always impressed. One time I did a reading for somebody, and they got a Court of Cups because it was just three cup cards all like unifying. I thought it was amazing. Time to quit your full-time job and go full-time on YouTube. Not yet, Absolute Geek Podcast. Not yet.
Yeah, now eventually that would be nice. A retirement, something to do in my retirement, but I ain't there yet.
Exactly.
I got a kid. You got to go to college first.
Right on. Be like those older gentlemen out there. You know, go do the things. All right. Back to my getting to know you questions before I set you up for your grand finale. Oh no, what am I talking about? Oh my goodness, I forgot Bussy Buster. As part of the challenge, I told you to bring a book that you were really excited about adding to your collection. So that time has come.
I had two. I couldn't decide which angle to take with it.
Well, now that we know the angle to take with it is that buying it made your butt tingle, like that's kind of like the way to go.
All right. Yeah, because one was more of a joke. So I'll not do the joke one, not the joke one, but it was just kind of a fun pickup to actually buy the lowest graded copy of a book that's out there, but it's the one I could afford, and so I could have it. So I'm not going to go with that one.
Hey,
I'll tell you what that is just for fun if you want to know.
We've all been there.
That was this.
Oh, that's nice though.
It's a 5.5.
It doesn't matter. It looks great.
I don't think anyone's gonna have a lower one in the census.
Oh no, hold it up. Let's really look at it.
It's all dinged up on the spine. Like it is earned its 5.5.
I don't care. The thing is, it looks good.
Yeah. Well, I just like it because again, for the price of this book, this X23 variant got crazy. The price I paid for it, considering it's also signed by Delato, I had to get it, even though it's the lowest graded. But that's not the one that made me tingle. Again, that was just kind of a fun pickup that I could have.
I love a fun pickup too.
I always wanted one of these. I remember early on in my collecting, riding my bike to the comic store. It was like 20 minutes on the bike to go there. I would go and check, and I remember they had this book on the wall, and it was $40 for a while. It was $40, and I was like, I didn't have $40. I was a kid riding my bike. Eventually, I'll get one. Never did grab that copy, but eventually down the line, I did have to get rid of some books that I did like to get the extra funds to get this book. But I did eventually get a Hulk 181. That is only a 2.5. This front and everything presents more like a 6, 7. This is a great looking book, but the reason why it's a 2.5 is because on the back, somebody decided to get rid of their gum and tore a little chunk out. But to me,
Still, this is worthy.
This, I don't care. Like, I don't care. It's only 2.5. This is my copy now.
Let me show my appreciation for that Hulk 181.
Yeah, like, again, that was just one of those decisions. Like, I don't care if there's a chunk missing out of the back. It looks pretty enough for me. I can afford this copy.
It displays gorgeously.
I know. That's why I wanted it. I was like, I can even look in the back. I don't care that there's a little piece missing.
Oh my! Let me find one of my grails with a little chunk missing out the back. Let me find it. You know?
That's fine.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, that did give me the tingles once I finally got it. I did have to get rid of a Daredevil 131.96 to get a couple extra $100 to get that. I don't mind saying prices either. Like, I think I paid about $700 raw for that book, and I knew going in that the highest grade I could get if I subbed it would be a 2.5 because of that chunk missing. But I did want it slabbed to keep it nice and trophy, like Cliff said. Like, it was my trophy. I wanted it nice in a plastic. I didn't care about the number on the front. I just wanted that book.
You sacrificed first bullseye.
I did.
I
got like 5. I got like 500 out of the 7 at the time. This is a couple years ago now, but I got most of the funds for that by getting rid of the one because, again, I had to make those decisions.
Incredible. And a 9.6 averages around the $900 range.
Yeah, I mean, right now more people are jumping back in because of the show, but yeah, for a while there, I mean, if you ask me straight up if I wanted a first Bullseye or a first Wolverine, I mean, that's not a decision at all. As much as I do love Bullseye, I got another Bullseye, and I'm fine with it raw in my collection, in my filing cabinet behind me.
Right, exactly. Like,
exactly. Like, I'm fine with the $40 copy or whatever I found. That's good enough.
Ooh, all right. My Bussy Buster does not compare at all. But I picked up the 1 in 10 Web of Spider-Verse this week. And I just, maybe I don't want the extra like, I just love Luciano Vecchio so much. Again, it's another Luciano Vecchio cover that I lost my mind for. And I was like, give it to me. Give it to me.
I like the design. I hate the name.
Oh, yeah. This guy, what is
Count Parker.
Count Parker.
That's just stupid. Just a dumb name. But I like the design. The look of him is cool. Like, I like the design of it with the.
I really felt if Luciano had gotten to name him, it would have been a much cooler name because Luciano named Phantasma, and they just went with it. So yeah. But anyhow, I can't help but kind of like him. He appeals to all the wrong things I love about vampires. You know, he's just the gear is outrageous. He's kind of unnecessarily sexy. I just, you know, there's all that
vampire. He's got to draw you in.
No, I know.
You're walking around like Nosferatu and just pressuring people into it.
Well, yeah, no, Nosferatu pressuring people. Yeah, he's just scary. He's just scary.
I'm just gonna menace you into accepting.
Oh my God. I killed my Hulk 181 in daytime, late 7 years old, early 80s, still cry about that Spideyverse looks like it belongs to Grey's Anatomy. I agree, but it's great. Oh, it's day camp. Oh. Oof. Terrible. But anyhow, that's my little Bussy Buster for this week. That's the one that got me all excited. And you know, there are many times I don't feel excited about stuff in the comic book store. So, like, I think I really just was gravitated to, I felt excited. Like, I felt something, you know? And, like, I don't know. Like, it's a little sad that we don't have that, like, giddiness on New Comic Book Day. Like, it partly feels like an obligation and, like...
Yeah. That's also why I don't like looking too far ahead. I've said this before, like, you know, everybody out there does like an FOC show and all that stuff, but I don't like looking that far ahead because, one, I don't want to know what's going to happen in books that I'm reading because then I'll get mad. Like if it doesn't get there or doesn't meet expectations,
Well,
it's
they
like watching
usually
trailers. Like you don't got to show
they
me trailers for a
usually
movie I'm going to go see. Mario, you already got my money. Once it comes out, I'm going to go. So I don't want things spoiled if they don't have to be. I like to be as fresh as possible in my reaction once I get the product.
see, my feeling on FLC is like, like what if there's a new Nakayama cover coming and I need to pre-order it because I love him? What if there's a Luciano and I'm the only one who cares
And
about
that's
Luciano
why
and I
I
need
do
to pre-order it?
searches based off of just like, well, like when I do a DCBS order, like I do order pre-order from DCBS a couple months ahead. I just search like artists like that. Like I'm blindly putting books. Like I don't look at the description. I'm blindly putting books that I want to read or whatever that I want to know I'm going to get anyway. So I'm not reading any of the synopsis or anything. Or I'm searching artists like Nakayama. Saying, is there a DeCall cover coming out? Is there Adam Hughes coming out? And I'm just going to add it to the list. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter if you have a picture for it or not. I'm just going to add it to my list, send it to me, and that's it. So try not to spoil it.
Yeah. And that's what I like to look for. I'm like, is there going to be a blank? Is there going to be a foil? Is it Nakayama? Is it Vecchio? Is it one of my other favorites? And that's it. Cliff made Bart Sears laugh bigger than I've ever seen before. So Velvet Joker and I interviewed Bart Sears the other night, and you'll see the clips on Velvet Joker's channel and his TikTok, because he breaks them up into little vignettes. But so like I was talking to Bart Sears and I was like, oh yeah, this with Keith Griffin and whatever. And I went to this panel that he was hosting for Justice League International, and he's like, I don't understand you people. The book is over 30 years old. Why are you here? And then someone came up to the mic and said something about Legion of Superheroes. He goes, I'll gladly answer that question, but also, how do you expect me to remember? It was 40 years ago. And then for a hot minute, this panel that was designated to Justice League International derailed into Legion of Superheroes. It was a good time.
There were no Valiant people? Nobody wanted to ask him about Exo Man of War or anything like that?
No, but when I was talking to Bart, I was talking to him about Exo Man of War,
Yeah, I used to love that.
Bart,
I love that he did in the old Wizards back in the day, that he had the drawing segment in there for a while. He had to draw it again. Me wanting to draw back in the day, I was a big fan of following his explanation because he did the muscle tones.
Yes, and he's really thoughtful of an artist when it comes to that, and you're gonna love it. Go check out his new Kickstarter.
I'm gonna have to check it out now.
Right, because if you loved Brutes and Babes, then his new Kickstarter is for you.
All right.
I didn't like it when he did EXO. There's an EXO cover that Bob Layton did the inks on, and it's EXO number 14, and it's EXO with Turok. And that cover, you should look for Eddie. That cover is gorgeous. Watch, Eddie's gonna find it and be like, Cliff, I'm giving it to you. It's not as gorgeous as you think. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. Woo. Oh my God. I derailed myself with all of that.
It's all right. I'm used to going off the rails.
I know there's a lot of off the rails. I like to have like medium rails.
Yeah, especially when you're the one, you got to run the whole show. You got to run the whole deck. I get it. I know. I feel you. You don't like to be thrown completely off because then it's hard getting back on track.
It is. Now he expanded Brutes and Babes to a How to Draw series. The first was How to Draw Powerful Figures 1 and 2. And now he's crowdfunding How to Draw Splash Pages. There you go. That's the new one. Ooh, that should be right. You know what? You should join. You should get volume 1 and 2 and the Splash Pages and give yourself some stuff to practice on.
I might actually. I'm gonna go take a look at that.
King Kong is coming soon. Yes, I'll be there, Blind Cat. Even though it's a 2-hour and 12-minute drive, I'm gonna be there. Yeah.
You're going to King Kong? I might go.
Oh, good.
I'll look for you.
Yes. I'll be there. I'll be loud. I'll be hugging people and twirling them in the air. How tall are you?
I'm short. I'm like 5'6". Marco makes fun of me all the time.
Do you want the twirl or non-twirl?
That's up to you.
Oh, then you're getting the twirl. I got people. Now, by the way, I expected Big Lion Cat to be short. He's as tall as me, if not a little taller. When I saw him, I'm like, oh shit, Patrick, you're tall. Woo.
Don't know what that being tall is like. Always been short. Always been that kid who had to hold the sign up in front of the class. Like, you don't even get a seat. You got to sit down on the floor. You hold the class, you hold the class grade.
Let's see. King Khan, March 22nd, New Jersey. Where in New Jersey?
It's up North Jersey somewhere.
Sort of. It doesn't feel north enough for me.
Not north enough for you. To me, I'm down near Philly, so that's why it's north for me.
The APA Hotel Woodbridge.
Oh, yeah.
In Woodbridge Township, New Jersey.
Up near Rutgers, where I went to school.
You see that? Where I went to school. Great. They also, if you pre-order your ticket online, the first 100 paid attendees through the door are entered into a chance to win giant size X-Men #1 CGC 3.0. And sponsored by basically everybody you know, including
there's a lot of familiar faces there.
Yes, lots of familiar faces. Millhouse Comics, 3 Men in a Basement, Lone Wolf Comics, Fury Comics, Comic-Com Podcast, Mighty Collectibles, Comic Underground, DJ Links. Look at all that. Wonderful. Lots of familiar faces. I'm in Connecticut. I might go. There we go. The Cliff Lift. Oh, Phil's Treehouse. I love you. The Cliff Lift, I'm calling it. All I get is the hug. I'm too big. Oh, that's okay. That's what happens to me. That's what always happens. Although, I don't know. We're going to find out. When at Heroes Con, we're going to find out if I can do the lift on one of the tall foreigners. So we're going to know. Oh, he's going to be at Erod's table. Oh, my God. Erod. So, I'm always commenting on Erod's age and whatever. And so I told all his buddies, I was like, because I always see, every so often I'll see a young lady, giving him attention, and I'm like, okay, let's not get carried away, right? And so I told his friends, I was like, oh, Erod looks this good because he keeps eating that young pussy. So then at Terrificon, these same mutual friends pressured me into telling him, and he started dying laughing. He goes, I want you to tell my son. And I'm like, I'm telling your son? Right? So his son comes over, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever I'm about to say is wildly inappropriate, so you've been warned. And I was like, so I said the secret to your father looking young and fit is that he's eating young pussy. And the son starts laughing. He goes, and I was like, okay, what is the joke I'm missing? He's like, my mom is 11 years younger than my dad. So I was right.
Fair enough.
Is that a medicine? I don't know. New Warriors for Life. Oh, New York Warriors for Life. Yes. We are the New Yorkers. Oh my goodness. Whew. Well, now that I've said all that terribleness.
It wasn't terrible.
Well, good thing I put the warning at the beginning of the show before I get too crazy. All right, we've done our comic of the week. We've done our Bussy Busters. We did Rate It or Hate It. Oh, we even did a tarot card reading.
We did.
Sir, this means it's time. It's time for your homework assignment. It's time for... the 5-finger shuffle.
Took me a while to figure out how I wanted to go with this. Wasn't given a lot of direction or anything like that. It's not what I mean. What I mean is I was thinking 5 books. What do I want to tell a story with these 5 books? I think I got them. I got them here. And surprisingly, even though I'm not a big slab collector, these are also all slabs because I had to have all of these put into the little plastic containers.
Little personal slabs.
Just for me. And the theme behind all of these are all low grade. Just if the Hulk was an indicator, I don't mind low grade when it's just for me. This is what I could afford. This is what I can get. This is what I got. And I'm happy to have it. So I had mentioned early on what has got me started was the X-Men and a little character called Silver Surfer. So I decided to go with my Silver Surfers. So I did get a 3.5 of FF48. Woo! I bought this raw. Again, it was a raw beat up copy. It was $200, I think, when I got it. So getting a 3.5, I didn't care what the grade was. It was the copy I was able to afford, the copy that I got. And I got it slab.
Did you do any pressing and cleaning?
No. Straight up how I got it. I do have a press, but I'm not a presser. I didn't want to mess with it. It was a classic. It is pretty, it's not white pages. I didn't want to mess, with it being too brittle or breaking the cover off or anything like that. So I just left it as is. Because again, it's not going anywhere. That's my copy. It's good enough. I'm not getting another one unless I somehow luck or stumble into one. That'd be a different story. But all intents and purposes, that's my copy.
Absolutely understood.
To follow it would be the next one. Also bought raw. This one I got a $5. I bought this. I can't remember which one of these copies this is because I bought this book twice around the same time. For whatever reason, I found two Fantastic Four 49s. One at my LCS. It was in a box, just a back issue box. So there's like, hey, we got some new back issues. And it was $80. I grabbed that one. And I found one, I think, that was also in my comic shop that was listed like some low grade that I knew they always undergraded at the time. So I bought that too. I can't remember which one this is. So I don't know which copy it is, but it's either my comic shop one or the one I got at my LCS for $80. But again, I kept one, got rid of the other. This is my copy. Doesn't matter. 5.0 is good enough.
That's fabulous for that book. Fabulous.
Now that is. Again, I got this probably pre-pandemic. Like that was a while ago. I picked that up.
I don't care. For me, that book is a 5 because that book is part of
the
tapestry of comic.
It's one of my favorites. You get them on. You get Galactus on the cover, and it's the whole thing. But again, to finish the run out, I had to get 50 as well. Which I actually bought this as a 4.0 graded already because I kind of wanted it to fit in my 3.5 to 5 range with my other books.
Hold on, I need an emotional display.
And I remember where I get most of these books. Like I don't know how you guys collect. Like usually I remember. Unfortunately I can't remember which 49 that is, but I still remember both 49s. But 50, I bought this from Zapp's Comics at a convention in Philly.
In New Jersey?
Yeah, Zapp's Comics in New Jersey, but they were at a con in Philly.
Oh, wow.
I bought it there. It was just on their wall, and it was cheap too. When I bought that, it was 4.0. I think it was like $85. It was the only thing I bought at the con, and I was just like, all right. And I put it in my collection. $85 because it's low grade. And it wasn't as sought after as the other two, obviously, but it does finish the story, so you need all of them.
No,
I wanted to show.
I feel like most people, know.
Yeah, that is true. But I just need
it's like most people want to go for all of it.
Yeah,
just make it happen.
And you're probably going to think that the next one I'm going to show would be Silver Surfer 1, which I wanted to. No more Galactus. I'm sticking with Surfer. I didn't get my Silver Surfer 1 graded because I bought that one again for $120, but an interior, because it is square bound, an interior page come dislodged. So I don't know if I grade it if they're going to give what they're going to give me for it. So I never sent it in because one page is loose. So I don't have that, but I'll jump to 3 with Mephisto. Again, in my nice low grade range. This is again where wheelhouse I can play, a wheelhouse I can afford. So I got my 3 of this. Who knows where this is at now, as this is taking a ride up and down every time Mephisto's been teased coming to the MCU.
God knows I've been enough on those up and down rides.
Exactly. I mean, for a while there, I was fine with my Fantasy Masterpieces version of it, but I eventually got that one. Got the 3. And then I'll finish the 5 with the next book in the run, which also in that same kind of range is I did splurge one day and I did get because I just love this cover. I mean, it's classic.
The second appearance of Mephisto. And also the icon.
It's just I wanted the Thor Surfer.
Yeah. And also, everybody wants it for Thor and Surfer, but no one thinks about the fact that it is the second appearance of Mephisto. It counts. It counts.
I got these. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. There goes this way. I got these on my cabinet. I got my magnets to match.
Nice. By the way, did you like the Masafiera version of that cover? Masafiera, I think.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous.
I think. Well, I usually like his art.
He did it for Silver Surfer Ghostlight, and there's like a regular version, and then there's the version with Ghostlight on it. So like that regular version is like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. I remember now. Because they've done that a couple of times. I remember there was that Cosmic Ghost Rider one, I think, that they did on like Thanos 17 or so. It's a cover. I know there's been homaged, however we want to
Many
pronounce it.
times.
There are multiple ways that you could say it that are all correct.
Do you think that Silver Surfer is the most iconic cover of the Silver Age? Oh, I don't know about that, but of Silver Surfer, possibly.
Wow. Well, even with the Surfer, I mean, I didn't show one, but one is also one that, with him just on the board coming straight at you, that's another one that's just, they don't really do it that often, but I don't know. That'd be a tough call. But not for all of the Silver Age. I think there's probably other options we can go to, and we don't need to just limit it.
No, because I mean, if I was gonna dare to say most iconic of the Silver Age, if I was really going to try and make that call, it's gonna be Amazing Fantasy 15. Everybody knows what that is, you know.
That is true. That I mean, you'd have a hard time topping that one.
I was gonna say, I feel like that one is like the go-to.
Yeah, I mean, even with your FF1s and whatnot, it's
Avengers. Avengers #4 with Captain America also would be up there.
It would be up there, but I think you're hard to top AF15.
No, it's hard, but I feel Avengers 4 can compete. You know, because people know that iconic return. They do.
I mean, Russian coming right at you. You got Cap just charging right at you. But I'm still going AF15.
Probably AF15.
You came out of the gate hot. Like I can't take. That's it. Like you had a hard time topping it now.
Oh, Bruce caught my little joke. This is a one-man show, folks. Like, y'all blew up my DMs to Kingdom Come, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just like, I can't see it all. You know, but you know, good looking out, folks. I appreciate it. You know, and that's okay. You know, Legion is suggesting Hulk #1 and Superman 233. Interesting. I'm not sure I'm giving it to Superman 233, even though I love Superman. It's the busting of the chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's huge.
That is a good one. That's a good Soups cover, but I don't know.
It is wildly iconic. I mean, there is no denying it. Yeah, I will definitely give it the #1 Soups cover of the Silver Age. That's for sure. Yeah. But there's so many different iconic books. I think the 90s, no one will ever be able to stand up to the X-Men #1 multi-cover madness, you know?
Yeah. Only one that'll come close is you got to go with Todd. I mean, that would probably be it.
Right, Spawn #1 would probably be close, you know, but X-Men is going to have that edge. Bruce says Batman 232 with the introduction of Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. Say it however you want.
I always said Ra's, and I'm going to have a hard time like watching the TV shows. And it's like Ra's, what are you talking about? It's Ra's. So in my head, it'll never get corrected. I can't help it.
Oh, Legion, this looks like a 2-man show. It's a 1-man me never invited show. Would be more accurate. Oh, Legion, don't worry, because I've also never invited anyone from the Council of Comics that isn't Seabizzle. So there you go. You're in good company. He's mad because we made arrangements and then I ghosted him, and then that was my bad. I misunderstood, and now it's over. Now we have to make up. You know, now he has to dry hump me at Heroes Con so that we're all nicey and kissy face, and then we'll see how it all comes back.
I thought it was like a Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel kind of thing you had going there. It's like he got bumped. He got bumped every week.
Yeah, no, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be exactly that. It's gonna be exactly that. Oh my goodness, that was a wonderful, wonderful 5. You know.
Oh, thank you. I'm proud of that little run.
That is a great run, and I love the Silver Surfer motif. Now, do you think? Hey, good morning, Rich. Speaking of, if you need pressing, reach out to Comic Cap Collectibles. And he's New York, New Jersey accessible, everybody. There you go.
Okay.
For us East Coasters. So how do you think Marco is going to fare?
You two are going to have quite the ride. Off the rails won't even begin to start to you two going. Just the two of you?
Yes.
It's going to be a wild ride. I can't wait to see this. I don't want to say train wreck because that would make it indicate that it'd be a bad thing. I don't think it's going to be a wonderful experiment in just where you guys
a wonderful experiment in comic book YouTube. Is that what we're calling it?
It's going to be something. It's going to be something.
Marco loves Superman. Make sure you bring him up a lot. Oh, no, he doesn't. Does he?
He does not.
And Superman is my favorite, so we automatically have a problem. I guess we will not talk Superman or Batman if it can be helped. You know?
Yeah. No, I think you just gotta lean right into it. You just gotta go where it takes you. Just go with the flow of the river.
And they were like, and then this crummy 15th appearance of blah blah blah. And I'm like, I just asked you how your day was.
You'll be lucky to keep him on point. He might start talking about like soccer coaches and refs and like weird things that happened to him at the Target that day.
That will not happen because I can't. I have no room. I have no room for the footy ball games and the whatever you guys, all the sports ball. I'm not into it. Oh, something just came to my door. I can't wait to see what it is. It could be comics. How exciting! Isn't it exciting knowing that comics could just be showing up at your door? Like, also, isn't it sad that this is what I have to look forward to? This is the excitement levels. Like, there could be comics at my door. Oh my!
There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, I know. I just, the comics are just filling a void. Pickleball for the win. Jesus, really, Trev? Not even. Oh my goodness!
No joke.
I
get tired thinking about it.
See, you guys and your sports ball thingies. All right, sir. Tell our audience where they can find more of you.
Well, I've got a channel. It's called Rennavison. We like to do branding here, so I got my mug with it even on there. Again, Hot 10 show was yesterday.
Branding.
Yeah, I'm telling you, got to do it. It's all about the branding. But yeah, over on Rennavison, I do a bunch of different shows just individually, and then I got the boys doing some live shows over there as well as part of a group effort, as the cards had told us what we do.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that was an accurate reading. That was an accurate reading. But apart from that, if you guys like things outside of comics too, I do have a channel called Toy Informer where I do toys and other weird collectibles. I legit did a show about fruit snacks the other day. Collectible fruits. People pay money for fruit snack boxes and 30-year-old fruit snack packs. That is a thing. So I'll cover weird collectibles, sneakers, video games, anything that's not comics that I still think are interesting. I do shows about that over there. So if you find that stuff interesting, go check it out. But yeah, fruit snacks. I don't know if you guys remember the dinosaur like fruit snacks, like a box sold for like $200 just for the box of Sun-Kissed like fruit snacks. Weird stuff.
Just people the fruit snacks. And people are looking, and not just the box, the sealed box they're looking for.
Yeah, well, if you can find it, but they'll buy just the box, flattened out and not, and empty. They'll buy that too. It's crazy.
Well, I am I'm happy to hear it. And
I don't think I'm going to cover that comic, Toby. That's probably an avenue I can't go.
I have no. Yo, you are funny, Phil's Treehouse. Adam and Eve's having a sale. Maybe he must be thinking about the void I'm trying to fill. And someone's talking. Jesus, good Lord.
Yep.
A Charizard Cheeto sold for big. Yeah, I saw that. I can't get on board with those things. I mean, that's what if you have to have it because you want to be that one person and you can afford it, like God bless you.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's a weird flex.
Yeah, it's it's not for everybody. I just keep picturing the home the home that you go to with these super esoteric things, you know? I don't even know. Oh, double O. The research and consistency that goes into the CBSI Hot 10 list on Rennavison is unmatched. Yes.
Thanks, Dub.
Stop it. Stop it.
Well, can't you get them out of vending machines over?
No, that's a niche thing. It's not like, I guess just the fact that it exists is why it became such a thing over here. Or like, oh my goodness. But like, you know, there's very few, and the few that there are, they are in like niche places over there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
there
there you go.
something for everybody.
You know, one would think.
Yeah.
And yet there's still not enough things for me. And clearly not enough for Bruce, because I need to find furrier boys, you know, dancing and shit.
Yeah, you got to get some more, you got to get some little bit fuzzier guys in there.
Yep. Damn. Damn.
See, this is what you got to worry about with Marco. It's going to this point too early on. You got to try to stay the course for a little while before we.
Well, you know, I know how to keep him in line, because every time we get off course, I'll just do a little bit of this, and that should get us right back on track.
Possibly could work.
Pete, a pleasure having you today. You're now free to enjoy family activities. The rest of you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You were a
SpongeBob play in my future today. Oof.
Oh, Comic Cap is asking for a shout out. Hold on, let's get ready. Let's do the whole thing. Let me get warmed up. Comic Cap Collectibles. Why did it not show up the way I wanted it to?
I don't know.
There it is. Trev got me. Let's present.
Well, yeah, go. That 1K was the hardest hill to climb.
All right, Comic Cap Collectibles is at 944. He's posting reviews of comics, grading unboxings, and techniques on how to clean and press your books. He's also Comic Cap Collectibles on IG. He's at 944. Go over, spread the love. The link is in the chat, folks. Look, JSS just subbed. I love it. That's wonderful. Nice. You know, good stuff. The never-ending climb.
You there, Matt.
Absolute geek.
We'll get you there, Matt. I'm telling you.
I clawed my way up. I was on, I don't know how many freaking live streams a week at one point last year. I was everywhere, to the point that people were sick of me, and I still powered through. I was like, if you're sick of me, just subscribe to my channel. Just help me get through it. So that's it. Please go check out Comic Con. Oh man, I saved too much for the end. I want to thank my subscribers. Obviously, my list does not include those who joined today out of the kindness of Bruce's heart. But thank you to Chris the Comic Vet, Couch and Nostalgia with Seabizzle, Heroes for Hire Comic Clubs, S482, Papa Wheelie, Commieverse, House of Bell Comics, The Comic Chef, Brother John's Comics, Comics Embraced, Ian and Becca Comics, Double O, see, he's a real watcher, Rat Art and Comics, Double Down Slots, Collecting with Durs, Nerdy Geek, Dr. Doom's Fan Club, still only 35 cents, Old Wolf 65, Mark Spector Comics, 1063 Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, which don't forget, only slaps today, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my friends at the Council of Comics, Anachronic Comics, Mad Spidey, DJ Lynx, Brian LCS, and Dr. Von Hoots Comics from the Spiral Dimension. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. All right. Nice. That's it. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. It's been lovely. You all have a wonderful weekend. I'm sure I'll see you on other live streams. Take care, everybody. Peace. Love.